You want pure, natural water that is full of minerals, okay? And that's why spring water, if you get it from a reliable source, is the best, because it's not a processed product. It's real water. It has a certain life to it, a certain energy, and it has these minerals in there. Distilled water is really dead water. It's got no minerals whatsoever. Now, that may be better than tap water, okay? So is distilled water good? I'd say it's less bad than tap water. Tap water is absolutely very poisonous if you drink it the way it is. It's filled with aluminum and other chlorine and all sorts of crap. You don't want to be drinking tap water. Distilled water essentially is nothing but water, but it has no minerals, and we do need the minerals. People travel all over, come from all over the world, for example, to go to France to drink the water there. It supposedly has healing powers, and certain waters are actually very beneficial. Metabolic poisons, fried foods, and polyunsaturated vegetable oils, fatty acids, also known as PUFA. Now, you've heard that fried foods are bad for you. Okay, well, why are they bad? What do they do that make you sick? They cause something called oxidative stress. That's one of the major things. And I just want to talk about that for a second. What is oxidative stress? We've all heard of antioxidants, right? Oh, it's high in antioxidants. Buy this. It's high in antioxidants. Buy that. Everybody's heard this term a zillion times. When I see people in my office, I ask them, well, what's an antioxidant? Or I'm sorry, what is oxidative stress? Very few people really know what it is. They've all heard of antioxidants because the advertising all talks about that. And we've all heard of free radicals. So let me explain what this is and then explain why fried foods and PUFAs are so bad for you. When we make energy from sugar or from anything, we burn it. That's how we derive our energy. And when you burn stuff, it puts off heat. Now, if you had a fire and you took away all the oxygen, the fire would go out. Okay? Well, we burn stuff with oxygen. And if you take away our oxygen, we die. Our fire goes out. So we need a certain amount of oxygen to live. But when we burn stuff to make energy, we put off a heat. And that heat is called a free radical, also known as oxidative stress. So in our metabolic furnace, when we burn stuff and we put out these free radicals, it starts to burn up our tissues. They actually fry up. And so we need things in there that are fire extinguishers. And these are antioxidants. So we burn things, the metabolic heat damages our tissues, free radicals cause oxidative stress, antioxidants are the fire extinguishers. They neutralize the free radicals. Well, what does this have to do with fried foods and polyunsaturated fatty acids? Well, these things are, it's like taking poison and drinking it. They are free radicals. They are oxidative stress. They are just burnt up things that clog your arteries, cause dementia, cause Alzheimer's disease, arthritis. Name the disease, it's one of the causes. Absolutely horrible stuff, just like sugar, in some ways worse. Get it out of your internal environment. Let me just talk about a patient that I saw a few months ago, which was just unbelievable. I saw a guy named, I'll call him Chuck. Chuck was like 35. He was referred to me by his chiropractor because the chiropractor took his blood pressure and it was like 200 over 100. And Chuck came to see me. Not only did he have high blood pressure, but he had fatigue. He had pain all over his body. He had headaches. He had irritable bowel syndrome. He named the problem, Chuck had it. Every single thing. He was a little overweight. And so I asked Chuck, well, what are you eating, Chuck? That's one of the first things I do. When a patient comes to see me, I say, tell me, what do you have for breakfast? What do you have for lunch? What kind of oils do you cook with? What kind of water do you drink? What do you snack on? How do you cook this? Do you have it medium well or rare? And people go, what is this guy asking me all these questions for? What, are you crazy? Anyway, Chuck's answers are pretty simple. Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. Chuck was eating fast foods every day, pretty much 21 meals a week. And I said to Chuck, okay, well, Chuck, here. Don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat that. Drink just water, blah, blah, blah. going to run some tests on you. Here's a prescription for some blood tests. Come back and see me in 2 weeks, and then we'll take it from there. Well, lo and behold, when Chuck came to see me in 2 weeks, he had normal blood pressure. Every single symptom that he had was gone. 2 weeks. He lost like 20 pounds. I don't know how many pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it was. He was practically crying. He said, "Doc, thank you. You have given me my life back. I feel like I just woke up." I said, "Chuck," we looked at his labs. They were all pretty good. "You don't really need to ever see me again. You're fixed." He said, "Thank you, Doc." I said, "Well, I really didn't do anything. You did it yourself." He was poisoning himself. Simple as that. Have you guys seen the movie Super Size Me? Okay. This is what Chuck was doing. He was supersizing himself. Now, he wasn't really that fat, but he was poisoning himself. These things, and by the way, if you go to these fast food restaurants, everything you're eating, I'm telling you right now, every single item either contains high fructose corn syrup or polyunsaturated vegetable oils and or fried stuff and or sugar in large quantities, and that's basically what you're eating, every single item in there. That's why they call it junk food, okay? It is absolutely poisonous. Stay away from that stuff. Okay, so let's go back to the PUFAs and the fried foods. When your adrenal glands are hit by these fried foods, they put out cortisol, because cortisol actually has, to a certain degree, anti-inflammatory, in a short-term, antioxidant effects. The other thing your body will do is it will make tremendous amounts of cholesterol to counteract the effects of the fried foods. Why? Because cholesterol is a very important antioxidant in your body. Cortisone is anti-inflammatory, right? We give this to people in the ER when they have terrible inflammation. It comes from right here. So if you eat fried foods, your adrenal glands will go, "Oh my God, we're going to fry. We better make a fire extinguisher," and your cholesterol will go up. If you eat sugar, this will be the same thing. So cholesterol is important. It's actually very, very important. It becomes all your hormones in your body, your adrenal cortical hormones, and it also acts as an antioxidant. So the fried foods and the vegetable oils act as pro-oxidants. Very, very bad stuff. What is a PUFA? What does that actually mean? Polyunsaturated oil or fatty acid. Poly means many. Unsaturated means that it's not full of carbons. I'm sorry, it's not full of hydrogens. It has what's called double bonds. Instead of having all the carbons being connected by single bonds, they have double bonds. And if it has more than one double bond, it's called a polyunsaturated. Now, olive oil is a monounsaturated. It has one double bond. And olive oil is a very nice oil because it's got 18 carbons, and right in the middle, it's got that double bond. And when you cut it right there, and the double bond is very weak, boom, it's 9 carbons, and 9 carbons goes right into something called beta oxidation and becomes energy. It's a very, very nice fuel. If you have more than one double bond and have polyunsaturated fatty acids, these things are so susceptible to oxidative stress, they burn very easily. They oxidize. And these things will clog your arteries, lead to adrenal stress, and lead to oxidizing your tissues, which will lead to all sorts of horrible symptoms. When you have high levels of stress, you can also lose minerals. These minerals can either be deposited in your tissues. They can end up in your toilet bowl. It depends on your personal balance. They will accelerate aging of all your tissues, and they will break down your muscle. Very, very bad stuff. You want to stay away from these things. Oxidoreductive balance. What is that? Well, too much oxidative stress is damaging, and actually too much reductive stress is damaging. You need a proper balance between pro-oxidants and antioxidants. It's the Goldilocks principle. We need the fire not to be too cold or too hot. We need it to be just right.